Can you remind us real quick? Like, which one's like logic?
Logos is logic.
Uh-huh.
Pathos is persuasion.
Uh-huh.
Or no, pathos is emotion. And ethos is credibility. So I essentially have to explain why ethos would be the hardest to prove.
Like, credibility is the hardest to prove?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's basically proving that you can trust someone, right?
Yeah.
Like you meet someone for the first time, you don't really know them, you can't trust them. You don't know how credible they are.
And then what if they told you, like, I'm a doctor? Then what?
Yeah, you don't. A lot of people don't immediately trust that. They'll be like, they want some sort of proof. Like the way that you get credibility is through proof, right?
Mm-hmm. So then what if, like, they just did CPR on somebody, like, saved their life, and then, like, they're like, oh, it's because I'm a doctor. Like, how much more would you trust them?
I mean, it wouldn't be impossible, but at the same time, it's like, you don't have to be a doctor to know CPR.
Alright, Jason, so imagine if someone's like you crash landed on a plane, your plane crashed on the sea, and someone was about to die, and then another person did CPR on them and saved their life. And then the other person's like, oh, it's because I'm a doctor. How much would you trust them?
Not trust them. Then, yeah, not trust them.
If they just saved a life, then you have no reason to not trust them, right?
It depends on how he looks like.
So what would someone have to do if someone told you they were a doctor? What would they have to do for you to believe them that they were a doctor?
Show me their medical license, obviously.
Alright, but imagine if you crash landed on a plane, all of his luggage is gone, and he says, I'm a doctor. Would you trust him?
Isaac, for me, the only way I can trust him is he gives me a free colonoscopy.
How are you doing that with no hands?
you hear him putting on his gloves, like, wait a second.
Yes.
Why is there only one glove?
Wait, what's the actual question, Isaac?
It's basically like, oh, ethos is the hardest to prove. Why?
Yeah, so it's the hardest to prove when you just compare it to the other two, because logic just makes sense. It's easy to prove because it's logic and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
So it's just like, trust me, yeah.
what's the other one? Ethical.
Pathos?
Yeah,
Ethics.
Pathos is emotion.
So emotion, like, you don't really have to prove because it's just ingrained in people, like, emotionally. So pathos, you don't necessarily have to prove. It's just there. And logic, you don't have to prove either because it's just based on logic. So the only one left is credibility. So credibility, like, is the only one that you only have, like, is the only one that you kind of have to prove.